Welcome to A Course in Miracles, Lesson 31. I am not the victim of the world I see. I love today's lesson. It starts to introduce a very empowering concept. I am not the victim of the world I see. Today's idea is the introduction to your declaration of release. Again, the idea should be applied to both the world you see without and the world you see within. In applying the idea, we will use a form of practice which will be used more and more, with changes as indicated. Generally speaking, the form includes two aspects, one in which you apply the idea on a more sustained basis, and the other consisting of frequent applications of the idea throughout the day. 2 longer periods of practice with the idea for today are needed. 1 in the morning and 1 at night. 3 to 5 minutes for each of these are recommended. During that time, look about you slowly while repeating the idea 2 or 3 times. Then close your eyes and apply the same idea to your inner world. You will escape from both together. For the inner is the cause of the outer. As you survey your inner world, merely let whatever thoughts cross your mind come into your awareness, each to be considered for a moment, and then replaced by the next. Try not to establish any kind of hierarchy among them. Watch them come and go as dispassionately as possible. Do not dwell on any one in particular, but try to let the stream move on evenly and calmly, without any special investment on your part. As you sit and quietly watch your thoughts, repeat today's idea to yourself as often as you care to, but with no sense of hurry. In addition, repeat the idea for today as often as possible during the day. Remind yourself that you are making a declaration of independence in the name of your own freedom. And in your freedom lies the freedom of the world. The idea for today is also a particularly useful one to use as a response to any form of temptation that may arise. It is a declaration that you will not yield to it and put yourself in bondage. The first time I went through A Course in Miracles workbook for students, I actually wrote very small and discreetly on my arm that was covered by a sweater or cardigan, but I would write the main teaching of the day. So I would literally write on my arm, I am not the victim of the world I see. And then during the day, whenever I felt agitated or during the recommended intervals, I would just pull back my arm sleeve a little bit and I would look at it and I would read it out loud, or if I was in an environment where I couldn't read out loud, I would just think it to myself. And it was discreet and nobody noticed. If you don't want to write on yourself with ink, another idea is to write it on a slip of paper and put it in your pocket. Because then as you're going about your day, if you're in the middle of something, it won't be difficult to reach in your pocket and go, oh, okay, I am not the victim of the world I see. The more universally you apply the concepts, the faster it will click, the more it will make sense, and the truer it will feel, because you'll be applying it. I am not the victim of the world I see. How often have we thought we were? How often have we thought someone else had the keys to our kingdom? Someone else had the keys to our happiness? It's not true. In an earlier lesson, it says the time will come when you won't marvel that these things are true. You will marvel that it wasn't always obvious, because it will become so obvious to you. And this is one of those that will become so obvious to you. If it isn't already, you will understand. I am not the victim of the world I see. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow for lesson 32. Mwah.